We start with a really disturbing story in Texas where a 4-year-old boy with shoulder-length hair, African-American to boot, was told by superintendent to either cut it off or wear a dress and identify as a girl.
This all started in August when 4-year-old Michael, or how many people know him, Tink, arrived at school to meet his teacher, but was told his hair needed to change.
A Texas family is threatening legal action against their school district after their teenage son was told he could not walk at graduation because of his hair. The Barbers Hill School District told DeAndre Arnold that his long dreadlocks violate its dress code.
DeAndre's family is from Trinidad. He says a lot of the men in his culture grow their dreadlocks.
He's a good student. Yeah. He's a good person. Isn't that what should matter? It just drives me crazy when I see stories like that. It's insulting, Anthony.
I will be here at every board meeting. I will fight to get all of the rules changed.
Now the woman spearheading the Stand With Tink movement, Randy Woodley, the grandmother of Tink, has been arrested and charged with perjury and child endangerment.
Now, Woodley says she believes these recent charges are the school's way of fighting back.
It's all retaliation. It's their way of trying to silence me.
Woodley says her biggest concern is her grandson.
He's scared that his Gigi is going to go to jail.
You guys arrested me. Sandy, they came in my home and took me in front of my grandson. My baby was 4. He goes to counseling now, and his counselor diagnosed him as PTSD at 4 years old. And because of my belief, I knew that God had a plan. I just didn't know what. When I laid in that jail cell, curled up in a ball, I kept telling God, Lord, please, what more do you want from me? They posted my mug shot all over the United States. All over the United States, and it's plastered. Felony child endangerment because I refused to cut his hair. I'm not ashamed to tell anybody. Right now, Tink and I receive food stamps. Right now, I'm on unemployment. I'll give my last. When I got the call to come here, I had to rub 2 pennies together to get here. And it's okay, and that's my point. I'll run a mile for Tink.
August 1st of 2019, I went to register him into Head Start. After registering him, upon me leaving, I was told that I needed to take him to the principal's office because there was a question about his dress code. So we went to the principal's office, and the principal told me that his hair was too long, that I had 2 choices. I could either cut it or braid it and pin it up. After speaking with the principal, I asked if I could speak to the superintendent. Went to meet with the superintendent, and the superintendent gave me 3 choices. He told me that I could either braid it, cut it, or put my grandson in a dress and have him identify as female. I explained to the superintendent that I thanked him for his time, but I told him that I would be fighting him on that. I was not putting my grandson in a dress. I was not going to tell my grandson to tell people he was transitioning into becoming a girl. He's 4. At that moment, I was just done. I was ready to go. I thanked him and told him he would be seeing me later.
I just think with anything where there's a blessing, there's a curse. And so where there was a blessing where DeAndre garnered national news with the Matthew Cherries, with the Gabrielle Union, with D. Wade and D. Hop, then came the curse. So we got a lot of kickback. We got a lot of hate via social media, so much so we had people saying we hope he gets shot in a drive-by. We had to do a lot of rearranging. We had to take DeAndre out of one vehicle, put him in another vehicle. You know, little things like, you know, we were paying for a membership in the community. We had to cancel that because we no longer felt safe for DeAndre to be out and about without us. I tell people all the time, you know, just because you see a smile, you never know. Smiling faces don't always tell the story or tell the truth. And yes, that was all great, and that was nice to feel that love from people, that total strangers we didn't even know, because a lot of times we didn't feel that from our own community that we lived in all of my life. But people didn't see the endless nights that I set up, my husband and myself, we set up and we wonder, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do that? How do we keep DeAndre safe? You know, a lot of emails, endless nights, just shooting emails, because we were shooting in the dark, because this was not something that we were used to. And so it was all new. And so people didn't see that side of it. They saw the red carpet and all of that, and maybe had some envy, but it was way more of the other side, if you will, than what the red carpet or the, even the Art of Confidence was. I mean, when we got the call from the Art of Confidence, I mean, that did something for us that I can just, would always be grateful for, those types of things. But it was so many of the down days that people don't know about, that people didn't see. And they get so caught up in seeing the highlights that they think, oh, we just get up every morning and every celebrities are calling us and we're doing all these big things. It's not the truth.
I went home, and that day I wrote my first Facebook post. It caught the attention of a lady in Pennsylvania. And she reached out to me and asked me if she could write a petition on behalf of Tink and myself. I told her yes. She wrote the petition and she posted it on change.org. I continued to post pictures of Tink every day, showing that he was clean and neat as I sent him to school. The petition ended up getting over 130,000 signatures. And by that time, I started getting questions and phone calls about interviews, and I did interviews and just continued to post pictures of Tink on Facebook. And I got a voice message from the Art of Confidence telling me that they had heard about Tink and that they wanted to do some photos of him. They wanted to help build his confidence.
Well, that was awesome. I mean, it was a highlight in our life when we got the call. And we really didn't know what to expect, but we were just excited for the fact that we had just someone else that we felt like were on our team that believed in the cause that we were fighting for and understood that this fight wasn't just about DeAndre. You know, this fight was about everyone that looks like DeAndre, all of the DeAndres that were gonna come after him. And so when we got the call from the Art of Confidence, we were just so getting excited. And once we met you, Jermaine, I mean, we knew that we had found an ally in yourself.
Oh, I was so happy. I was so happy. It was like a dream come true. You know, prior to that, my grandson was told that boys don't have long hair and that I needed to make him look more like a little boy. I was making him look gay. But after he got with the Art of Confidence and was taking pictures, he felt good about himself, and we was able to turn him into a king, even if it was just for a day. He was able to be his favorite superhero. He was able to climb walls as Spider-Man. And so that was one of our best days. I felt like there was hope. I felt like there was a tomorrow, because up until that point, I felt hopeless. But after that day, I felt like there was hope for he and I, because I would see him laughing. Prior to that, he didn't smile a lot.
Well, DeAndre, by that time we had been through so much, and DeAndre, although he's a people's person and he cares deeply about people, and that's what was so hard about this whole thing, that he was catching all this negative feedback from people and them not really knowing DeAndre and some of the things that he's done for children at the very school that he was being targeted at. But what I noticed in him, you were able to get him to smile on some of the pictures, and DeAndre does not smile, you know, and so it was like pulling teeth, but you got him there. And to this day, now when he takes pictures, we can get him to smile. Before that, you weren't gonna get a smile out of DeAndre. And so for you to be able to get a smile out of him, he felt the love and the genuine concern. And that's the only reason why that happened, because he knew that it was real.
He's gotten a whole lot better. He's still kind of introvert. He still worries about whenever I'm not around, he's worried that I went back to jail. But he has definitely come a long way with a lot of love and support from the village and family. He's coming around. He's coming around. Again,
you know, the fight wasn't just about DeAndre. And so DeAndre has a cousin, my nephew, Caden, that too was subject to this rule. And so since then, we've gone to court, and the judge has granted a preliminary injunction and has allowed my nephew back into school.
And so now the dress code policy for males are gender neutral. And so as of now, all males and females alike just have to wear their hair neat, clean, and no extreme colors. So due to our journey, they've decided to change the school rules.
You really have to be strong, and you really have to be in it to win it, if you will, because you would easily turn around, because people are going to be coming at you in all different directions just because they don't agree with what the cause that you're fighting for. And so you have to have a strong support system, which I found in the Art of Confidence, when I found in Black Lives Matter Houston, you know, and several people, and I hate to name names because you always leave people out, but you know who you are. When without that, we couldn't have gotten as far as we've gotten. Of course, our legal team, but it's been a long, hard road.
For anybody that is considering standing up for themselves, make sure your feet are planted. It's not as easy as just going out saying that something is unfair. Tink and I went through a lot of retaliation. You know, I'm still in court. I'm fighting a felony for refusing to cut his hair. It's very important that people realize that there's a lot that goes on. I've been arrested twice. I've been detained 3 times by police. And my grandson's life has been threatened. So there's a lot. So yeah, so just make sure that, like I said, your feet is planted, your shoulders are back, your head is up high, and you know that you're going to endure. You're going to have to endure.